That sweet music means it's time for Gardening Down to Earth with Catherine McMillan from Katie's Garden. Catherine, it doesn't even seem a couple of minutes since we last spoke. A week has flown by.
Hasn't it just?
How did the butterfly check go? Did you sit down in your garden and check out for butterflies?
I don't have the time for that sort of thing. Busy, that's me.
Yes, but you must be up. Do you never sit down to enjoy your garden and just watch it? Or do you sit down and suddenly see something it needs doing so you jump up again?
That is exactly it. Manage about 2 minutes and you're like, oh, needs deadheading.
You could try a seatbelt on your chair
Yes.
that you've tied that it's got a timer on it. You have to sit down for 20 minutes in your garden and relax.
Yes, I do need somebody to help me on that.
Yeah, okay. All right, I've no idea what we're talking about today, and the sort of silly mood that you and I are in, I am almost scared to ask, what are we talking about today?
Well, exactly. August is traditionally silly season, so I thought the topic for this week, things to do with tights in the garden. What can you do with an old pair of tights?
Yes, all right.
Steady on, everyone.
Okay, I wish I'd known about this earlier because I could have done a whole programme about this. We could have got listeners to do it.
So it's all about repurposing. We're being eco-friendly here.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm listening. I'm all ears now.
Yes.
Slightly, I've got my finger on the button in case I need to cut you off. But we'll see.
If the music suddenly plays, everyone, I've gone too far. No, I mean, I'm not actually even sure how many people are still using tights between all these lockdowns and workings from home and warm weather and everything. But maybe that means everyone's tights are stuffed right at the back of the wardrobe in need of a new use. So, first one. This is especially for you, Rob. Yeah. You've got your new pond.
I've got any tights.
You know what? I never wear tights. I've actually bought tights new. But anyway, it's your pond. Yeah. Because you get the algae growing in it. A little bit of algae is good. That's part of the whole ecosystem of it. But it can often take over. You want to keep it sweet. There's lots of chemicals you could stick in it. But actually, the eco-friendly way, the cheap way, is you put blocks of barley straw in.
Yep.
And a bit magical on how this works, but as it breaks down, that releases very mild doses of acid that neutralise the algae that can choke up the ponds, take all the oxygen out, make it difficult for everything else to live in it. Now, if you can find a pond supply shop, they will sell you a block of barley straw for lots of money. Instead, what you do is you go to the pet shop instead.
Oh, God, I am seriously excited about this because I've got algae in my pond. We've got two sorts of ponds. One just in the bucket, which keeps very clear, but this one is getting, especially with the hot weather, it's getting a bit murky.
It is with the sun on it.
Yeah.
So you go off and you just buy the big sack of the barley straw that's for rabbits or whatever it is. You get your old pair of tights. You probably only want from the knee downwards, and you just jam in a load of this barley straw, add a small rock or a large stone or something to make it sink because you want it to go down, and then tie a knot in it, sling it in, and then 3 or 4 times a year, fish it out, swap it over, and it is magical. The first time I did it, I was like, ooh, suddenly this green murk, within about 2 days, crystal clear again.
So it acts like a filter. Does it attract the algae to the straw?
It's the way it breaks down. I said it sort of releases, I think it's hydrogen peroxide.
I see.
Very, very mild doses of it. So you find after a few months, it's broken down too much and it's just gone to mush now and it's not doing the good anymore.
So fill the tights to the knee. What about if you're like me and you've got long legs? Does that make any difference?
Yeah, probably mid-shin at that point. You know, you don't need a huge amount of it. It's kind of a ball of it, really. Depending on the size of the pond, I suppose, actually. You only need a little. And
I've got some barley straw, because sometimes we bung that in with the chickens for them for their nest box.
Oh, there you go.
Can I do it now? Can you carry on talking? I'll come back in a minute.
Yes.
That is an incredible idea. That's really good, because I was thinking, because you can buy special plants to go in there, and they are the £8, £9, £10 a throw, some of these plants to do it. But if I'm doing it with a bit of straw and some old tights, okay.
Yes, definitely worth a go. And some of these oxygenating ones really take over as well.
It doesn't matter what denier, does it?
No, not for this one. We're all right on this because it's going in the water.
Okay.
But we'll get on to our next uses, shall we?
Yes, go on. Yeah.
So our next one, stop laughing. This is maybe a bit more niche. Some people have deer coming in the garden. Round here it's probably muntjac. Yep. They're terribly annoying because they just chew up all your plants. So one of the ways you can keep it out, pair of tights again, probably only want below the knee. This time, you're stuffing a bar of soap in.
Okay.
And how this works is you then get a bamboo cane or something and you tie that round the top of it so it's dangling at about head height of whatever type of deer is coming into your garden. Put it round those plants where they keep eating, like your rose bushes or something, and they go in, don't like the smell of the soap, disappear off.
Oh, that's wonderful. I thought you were going to say put the tight over the deer's head. Actually, to be serious, that would work in graveyards as well, wouldn't it? Because on cemeteries, the muntjac do eat all the flowers.
Yeah, a lot of people have problems with the deer and the rabbits coming in, and of course that's so upsetting for a lot of people. You know, you've left this tribute and it's all been chewed up. So that can work. And also, we'll probably move away from the cemetery bit of it because there are creepier options. I won't go the full creepy, but human hair apparently works as well. You can stuff that into an old pair of tights, and again, because it smells of person, they don't like it, and it keeps them out.
Oh, that's
but I think if you've got loads of tights stuffed with hair around your fence, I think you'll probably keep people away as well. I think you'll have a reputation.
No, they probably know me already, so they tell he's actually.
What now?
Yeah, no, that is fascinating. That stuff. I mean, because they can. I mean, in your garden, those deer they just nibble away at everything, and they're such nice creatures, and you don't want to harm them, but they'll munch a rose bush in about half an hour.
Yeah, I had them in a previous garden, and they always went for the buds. You'd be going, oh, it's about to come out next morning every time. So yeah, like you said, that's a kindlier way of doing it. I will say I had a neighbour who had a shotgun, and they went in his garden, and so nothing to do with me, but it definitely solved the problem.
Yeah,
I was happy with soap.
Yeah, put a tight round your shotgun, and off you go. Have you got any more top tips?
I do indeed. This one for virtually everyone. Of course, they're very good for tying like trees and things like that. If you need to stake something that's got a bit of heft, again, costs quite a lot of money to buy a proper strong tree tie. But of course, you know, this is probably when you do want a higher denya. This is when you want your thicker ones, because you can tie them round, and because they're very strong, but they have got that little bit of stretchiness to them, because you do want a bit of flex whenever you're tying anything in, because if you use wire, that will cut in.
Actually, it will cut in, and the tree will grow round a wire, won't it? A tree is tough.
Yes, you can end up with deformities that last for the rest of its life. So, but you probably don't want the navy ties. Something a bit more subtle, maybe the tan colours for that, I'd say.
Oh God! I bet you're wondering how I know what denya is, don't you?
No, I'm not. That's that Rob again.
Okay, 101 ways to use tights in your garden.
Yes.
Any more?
I've got one more.
Yep.
So this one, you might want the full leg, but there are no others who've been going below the knee. Full leg for these. Depending on your harvest, you can store your onions, because that stops them all touching each other. So you drop the first one in right down to the toe, put a knot as a spacer, drop the next one in, keep on going, hang them up, and that way they keep for longer.
Allotmenteers all around the country, all around the county will be nodding. They do that already, don't they? I've seen that for garlic, for onions, and that you can just store them out like that to keep them nice and dry, nice and fresh, and all together. That's brilliant, really is.
Yes. So
and
this is when we throw it out to everyone else. What's everyone else got? I bet there's more.
I wonder how many women are listening today and thinking, I wonder where my tights have gone suddenly.
They finally get the chance for an evening out. Go, hang on a minute.
I'll go and get them back. If you do get them back out the garden and you put them on, don't forget to take the onions out.
Yes, you don't want a garlic in between the big toe and the other one, do you?
Careful, girl, careful. That has been the most bizarre gardening questions I've ever done. It's wonderful. I've learnt so much. I've learnt from a pond. I've learnt from a muntjac deer. What else have we got? The onions, trees. Really, really good. All from a pair of tights.
There you go.
Can I go now? Because I need to have a lie down. You've really tired me out. Catherine, say hello to everybody from Katie's Garden, and we'll see you next week.
Will do.